Because, man, let me tell you, if I had to sit here on this stream and tell you guys to go buy a shitty arcade, one-up arcade machine, or to buy a food subscription service that I know is a piece of shit and is a ripoff, or Dollar Shave Club, or whatever the fuck the flavor of the day is, the new YouTube sponsorship, right? I would hate myself.
But I would hate myself if I was on my audience because we're not hitting the goal. I would hate myself if I'm sitting there and calling people deadbeats because they're not contributing. I would hate myself if I'm sitting here all day and complaining about not getting enough money. I would hate myself if I'm asking my audience to pay my bills because I'm not smart enough to find other avenues of revenue. What's up, y'all? I got a lot I want to cover in today's video, so let's just get right into it.
On average, it appears that he has between 200 and 300 viewers, and his streams on Kick have like 40 to 50 viewers. How can someone who has like 400 viewers a day make a living? Because it's not the same viewers. You see, I've got people who are...
First of all, who even asked that question? I want to know who asked that question. And I'll tell you this right now. Look at his YouTube chat because that's the only consistent chatters that he has. YouTube is Phil's actual fans. Kick is like troll accounts and LARPers, right? Everybody knows this by now. But let's look at Phil's YouTube chat. Copium, King Michael. These are all people that are always on Phil's streams. He doesn't have different viewers. He always has the same few people that just throw a couple big tips, and that's what he relies on.
I've got people who are rotating constantly. There's also a whole...
I've got people who are rotating constantly. The worst way you could word something for somebody who's accused of having like 3 big whales that support him, whatever it is. You know, the Iron Chef Sakai, the OICs, the NDOs or whatever, you know, like these are the same few people. So you're saying you rotate these people out? Because what you said didn't make a whole lot of sense when we always see the same few names in your chat. And speaking of which, most streamers have longtime viewers. Like 3 people that you have that have been consistently with you over the past few years. Everybody else gets rotated out or loses interest in Darkside Phil or gets banned.
I could do a podcast every day that people enjoy chilling with me. A lot of people actually have said now, I enjoy watching you on the podcast and hanging out with you more than I actually like your gameplay these days.
I like at the end, I can tell you exactly why. Because your stream starts off with the podcast. So the begging comes in light, right? You know, it's like, hey guys, let's support today. He might go on like a 20-minute rant, whatever. He gets all his tips in the beginning. And then when the gameplay comes in, it's like, guys, we need to support. We need the support. If you want me to hit the goals, we got to hit the goals. And it's like every time he gets a chance to take a break from the game, it becomes a begging session. So I can see why people don't like to watch that because you're supposed to be focused on video games, not focused on how much tips you're going to get today. Like, that's the whole point of people watching you to stream video games when they can't even watch you stream video games and enjoy it anymore. And it's all about the money when you quit games after one day because they're indie games and they didn't raise $150, or it's just an off day and one of your few people that rotate out, as you say, don't come in and support and drop that big tip or that big super chat or the big member bomb. Then every single chance you get to bring it up, you mentioned money. So I can't imagine why people don't enjoy watching that anymore. It's not even about the video games. It's about hitting the goals.
I don't care about that. Do you think I'm upset about that? No, I'm happy to hear that. I'm glad that people now like me for other things rather than just sitting here and yelling at a game all day. Okay. But I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely, positively 100% happy with who I am as a creator, with the content I'm making. I feel like it has merit, it has value, it definitely entertains everyone.
He's happy that he's pulling in the money that he's pulling in, right? He's happy that he's been hitting these $150 goals. But how can you say you're happy with your content when you get 300 people that show up on your live streams, you get 200 views per video? Like, your numbers are abysmal. When it comes to your actual content, it's horrible. Like, people don't watch it. So how can you say that it has value? The only thing that has value is you constantly asking for money, and it's like people feel bad. You got people in your audience throwing $2 and $5 at you when you're having a bad day. You're like, come on, guys, we really need to hit the goal today. And you got people like, all right, King, let's hit the goal. And they'll tip you like $2, you know, like this is 99% of your audience. And then the other 1% comes in and they drop like a 20 member bomb to help you hit the goal. The only reason he ever hits that $150 is from 1 or 2 people. I mean, you can go back and watch, I don't know how many DSP streams, but it's never a crowd-funded thing. It's never a large group of people people that are contributing. Like, I hate to even make this comparison because obviously lolcow live is a lot more popular, but go and pop into one of their streams and just see the $20, the $30, the $10, the $5, the $50 tips, super chats coming into that show from different people. But Phil's got like one or two people, so it's become the norm. And you wonder why he always brings up the fact that I don't know why people think my stream's propped up by 3 people. They're morons. Like, you wonder because that's what happens. I mean, you even have your kick chat constantly being like, where's Iron Chef Sakai when you're begging? I mean, you become a running joke at this point.
Because I want it to be that if there's a slump in one genre, that's okay, because then I can continue to do other genres of content to pick up the slack. And it has worked. While the rest of the fighting game community had to go to shilling garbage. I mean, let's sell shitty quality home arcade machines. Let's push garbage products like food subscription services and shit on our streams. I don't have to do that.
You can't do that. For years, you've been saying the trolls have prevented you from getting sponsorships. And you even admitted that you would do it if you could. So what's stopping you? You think your audience is so brainwashed that everybody else's audience is so brainwashed that when they shill these products, people are forced to buy them. But when we sit here on a Dark Side Phil stream, people feel like they're forced to give you money because you need to hit the goal. I mean, you called Kick a bunch of deadbeats earlier in this podcast. Actually, I think it was after this, but he called his Kick audience deadbeats because they didn't contribute to him. I would much rather have somebody have some couple things in their background advertising Red Bull or something like that, and maybe mention it for 30 seconds once a stream on like a 5-hour stream, whatever they're doing, then hear DSP for like 30 minutes straight talk about his goals and goal reward and watching him eat Japanese candies and talking about how he needs to hit the goal because he wants to do this marathon. He's got a marathon that he's building up after 100 goals hit, which is at the bottom of the screen right now. You hit 100 goals and he's going to do a marathon. But all he talks is about wanting to do the marathon. Let's hit the goal so I can do the marathon. Because you know what? Phil gets a lot of money on his marathons. Phil gets more than the average stream. So why wouldn't he want to do the marathon? Because he gets more money, right? I don't think Phil's ever had a marathon that doesn't generate more revenue than a regular stream. But it's all a shill. Like, this is a shill. You're shilling for yourself.
Because, man, let me tell you, if I had to sit here on this stream and tell you guys to go buy a shitty arcade, one-up arcade machine, or to buy a food subscription service that I know is a piece of shit and is a ripoff, or Dollar Shave Club, or whatever the fuck the flavor of the day is, the new YouTube sponsorship, right? I would hate myself.
But I would hate myself if I was shitting on my audience because we're not hitting the goal. I would hate myself if I'm sitting there and calling people deadbeats because they're not contributing. I would hate myself if I'm sitting here all day and complaining about not getting enough money. I would hate myself if I'm asking my audience to pay my bills because I'm not smart enough to find other avenues of revenue. Look at the smug look on his face, like he thinks he's so right, but he couldn't be further from the truth. Sponsorships help out both the companies trying to sell a product and the streamers that are trying to shill them. Phil talks about wanting to support creators on YouTube by watching ads and stuff like that, but what about the sponsorship opportunities that these guys have? So you don't want to support them because they got a sponsorship and you didn't. No matter what it is, Dollar Shave Club, whatever the flavor of the day is, Phil's going to shit on you because you've got a sponsorship. I mean, look at the PKA podcast. They got all these sponsorships all over the screen, and Phil calls them a bunch of shills and is like, what is this? And like shits on them. But look at the shit in his background. Why don't you have sponsorships back there and instead of all these stupid toys that you're flaunting? He's got one of those little Tesla things that you see at like Spencer's in the mall back in the 90s. Like, that's so cool, dude. But you could actually have something somewhat professional sitting back there and make money off of it. Why would you clutter your background with stupid shit when you could clutter it with products that might actually sell, that'll benefit you and might actually benefit your audience? Because you know what, Phil, as stupid as you call it, some people might be subscribed to the Dollar Shave Club and like it. Some people might like their arcade cabinet that they bought. Maybe they're into that. They're trying to sell these products to specific groups of people, but they're not pushing it in their face every 2 seconds like you are. So what's really the moral high ground when it comes to shilling? Shilling for yourself?
I would legitimately hate getting up in the morning and having to turn on this stream because it means it's shilling time. You know, now here's the thing. Did I shill this morning?
But that's what he does. He shills for himself, but he doesn't shill for these products because all the shilling Phil does, the money goes into his pockets. He's not splitting it with these companies.
Of course I did. But I shilled for me and my content. support my content. Let's hit the goals. Let's do a reward marathon. I didn't say, hey, everyone, buy garbage products and support exploitative corporations so that they'll send me.
Calling them garbage is completely subjective. It's not fact. I mean, would I buy Dollar Shave Club? No. But I understand why a streamer would have it as a sponsorship, right? I'm not going to hate somebody because they got an opportunity to sell something and create brand awareness. Yeah, that's a bad example.
A few bucks so I can make a living. I said support my content because you like it. I feel a lot better about that. I really do.
But it's not always that. It's support my content so we can get this marathon going. Support this content so I can eat Chick-fil-A tonight. Support this content so I can stuff my face with the next fast food item that's trending near me, you know?
So while all these communities are basically having to use this formula to succeed, I need a sponsorship, I need a partnership, I need to shill. I don't have to do that because I'm a variety creator. And I'm happy that I've.
But these people have created opportunities for themselves to sell a product, make money off it, not have to do what Darkside Phil is doing, and 20 times a stream mention support goals and how we need to hit it, and eating lunch meat sandwiches. Like, they're creating revenue for themselves so they don't have to be this scummy guy, so they can actually put out good content and focus on the content instead of breaking up their content with 30-minute rants on how they're not hitting the goal. Oh, do you guys want to see me play this game? Well, support because we've only got $17. It's not, hey guys, support because you like my content, and then we get back to the game. We get a whole 10-minute spiel about how you haven't hit the goal yet. That's completely different than how you're explaining it on your podcast. Like him, what he just said there is misappropriation. Like he's saying that, oh guys, you know, support because you like my content, but really that's not the case. It's the 20-minute rants and stuff that people get. It's shitting on the audience because they're not supporting or whatever. Your content relies on people crowdfunding you. And if that crowdfunding suddenly stopped, you'd be screwed. At least these other people have opportunities where when they have a slow streaming day with tips and super chats and stuff like that, they have revenues to fall back on. You don't. Your ad revenue is even shit. You get hardly any views on your videos. So you're completely relying on this stuff. How can you say that you're in a better spot than these people when they can actually focus on putting out good content, unlike you having to bring this stuff up all the time?
Okay, so thank you to those who allow me to be true to who I am, to do the content I want to do, to not make me go into the same bullshit formula as these creators.
Yeah, let's take a look from this is actually yesterday. All right, let's take a look from yesterday's stream.
Thank you, NVL Roy. All right, guys. So last half hour or so of gameplay, let's make a push to at least hit 100 of support today. We're at 69. We could do it. We're right there. Please, let's hit the 100. All right. I know that we're probably not going to hit the goal. It would be great if we did. I want to do the marathon by the end of this week, but you know, looks like it's a lost cause for this stream, because we barely had anyone but tippers, right? And these last-minute super chats now, no memberships, no subs at all. Remember, I made the offer. I made the offer that if someone dropped 20 subs, that I would give them both the VIP and the OG badges on Kick.
I just want to pause it here. This is from his stream last night. He does go on about this stuff, but he made the offer of 20 subs, and he'll sell you. He's essentially selling you badges that you're supposed to give to your loyal community members for 20 subs on Kick, right? This same day on his night stream, somebody offers to do it, and he says the offer is no longer on the table, but now they have to give him 30 subs, whatever it takes for him to hit the goal. So Phil has no terms and conditions. There's no real substance behind what he's offering. It's just as he pleases, he'll sell you this badge. Not to mention, if you were to give Phil 20 gifted subs on Kick, and you even said something slightly that pissed him off, like you don't even have to be a troll, but you said something that pissed him off and got banned, he just takes that badge away from you and then puts it back into the pool and sells it to the next guy until they get banned. So Phil never really runs out of these OG badges, these limited time things. He'll just take it away from you once you get banned, you know? Let's keep going.
I said I would do that today because I want to hit the goal on this stream, but we have no takers, no subs, and no memberships at all. What gets me is all those people watching on Kick and not a single one contributed. Not a single Kick viewer contributed today. Wow. Not even a single membership, not a single sub, nothing. Kick is a bunch of deadbeats today. Wow.
I've never met somebody so entitled to somebody else's money, right? Like, it's really sad. And that's not even like the tip of the iceberg. But he's going to sit there and tell you that, well, guys, if you really like my content, let's support, and then get back to the game. You liar. You just called people a bunch of deadbeats because they didn't give you money. You generalized a whole audience of people and called them all deadbeats because not one of them gave you money.
Support, and then I did it this morning and someone took advantage. So people seem to like this deal. It's only limited time. After today, we go back to how it used to be, which is basically you will get a VIP badge for 25 gifted subs, but the OG badge will not be available. I'm only bringing it in limited times, okay? So let's do it. Let's get some support tonight, please. Let's get everything rolling. We have nothing right now, 0. Let's get our first piece of support right now, and then we'll get started with Dino Crisis. But let's get something in. What is the OG badge?
So let's get support in, and then we'll start the game. Also, shout out to Duty Streams for these clips. I didn't say it, but I got both of these from Duty. Like, what kind of shit is that? You're not asking people to contribute if they like your content. You're telling them to contribute and you'll start the game. Like, you're pressuring people into contributing money to you in order for you to even start playing Dino Crisis or Dono Crisis, whatever it is. Everything is pathetic about this. This isn't some guy who's decided not to get a sponsor, instead his audience crowdfunds him. This guy who begs online for money. You're just begging, and you hold it over people's heads in different ways, whether it be a marathon. Guys that really want to do this marathon contribute. Guys will start the game as soon as a donation comes in, or you'll gift 20 OG badges to somebody who contribute. You're dangling this carrot over people's heads who are stupid enough to fall for it, you know? But instead of being like a nice, honest creator, you've got these gimmicks that you've always hated gimmicks, Phil. Phil has always hated gimmicks, but here we are, the biggest gimmick shill of them all, apparently.
Look like?
All right.
It.
All right, let's get back to this.
Do the grind. This is what I don't get. People who say the grind. The grind? Dude, every day I get up, I turn on my setup, I chill with you guys.
Phil doesn't know what a grind is because Phil doesn't work. Phil doesn't grind to make his life better. Phil doesn't grind for that money. He asks for it. He begs for it. It's not a grind. I mean, it's hardly debatable. I guess you could say Phil is grinding in the sense that he's begging for it, but I wouldn't call begging for money a grind. It's like seeing a homeless man on the corner with a sign up asking for money, and you're driving by and you're like, wow, that guy's really grinding out there. Like, no, he's begging. He's asking for money. You know, this is not work. It's not work when you're just sitting asking for money. You know, you're not grinding.
That's what it should be. You all had a great time today and you supported it so we could have another great day tomorrow. Keep it going. Versus, hey, buy this piece of shit product, buy this electric toothbrush, buy this razor, buy this piece of garbage gamepad, buy this shitty t-shirt. What the fuck? Why, when did it become so commercial, right? But it's like, oh, well, don't make fun of them. Don't hate on them because they're getting the bag. Yeah, but by what?
But nobody forces people to buy these things in a sponsor. When you're getting sponsored by something, you're not forcing your audience to buy it. Have you ever seen somebody be like, you need to buy this? You're going to buy this? No, they're trying to sell a product for a company they're being sponsored by. I think any human being with a brain in their head would understand what that means. Is Phil just so gullible that when he sees something like this, he's forced to buy it? Does Phil go on a YouTube video that's being sponsored by Factor and go out and buy these microwavable meals? I mean, probably because he feels forced into doing it, because that's how Phil's brain's operating, apparently. But that's different when Phil's calling you a deadbeat and telling you to support his content if you're watching on Kick, right? You're a Kick viewer and you're being called a deadbeat because you're not giving this guy any money. What's worse?
Means by making their viewers buy garbage instead of just saying, hey, my content's good, support it. But that's the thing, they can't. They can't make a living.
That's not true. These people who actually have sponsorships that don't put all their time into shilling all these tip goals and stuff that they've created as a way to get more money, they bring up the product for 30 seconds and they get on with their content, and they spend more time focusing on their content and what people actually came there for than stupid goals that you've created in your head to try to get people to contribute more. I don't understand where the logic is coming from. It doesn't make any sense what he's saying.
On that, because they all chose to do this same road, same formula, same boring bullshit. Wow, you get 40,000 views on every video on YouTube, but no one contributes to your streams. So I make more money on one stream than you do on that video that you work so hard on. Good for you, bro. You're doing it wrong.
No. The reason that Darkside Phil has 250 viewers between both of his streams and a restreamer that people go and watch, whether it's, I'm not even going to bring up the names because that'll just give Phil ideas, whether it's a restreamer that someone goes and watches, but these people are pulling in more viewers than you. So what does that tell you? That you're exploiting a small group of people that feel the need to contribute to you every day? Because that's what it looks like. Why are there more people who are watching restreamers than you that don't actually like you? You go into a restreamer and everybody hates you, Phil. They're not fans of you. They're not going to come contribute to your stream. He actually talks about it. He talks about these restreamers and he tries to appeal. I don't know if I'll get into it today, but he tries to appeal to an audience of restreamers and goes, look, if you're watching restreamers, you should come over and support my content, the mother channel, blah, blah. As if without Phil, everybody would be lost and people wouldn't have any content to watch. Like, no, dude, you're a lolcow. People are just going to go watch another lolcow. There's so many different communities of people that watch these lolcows. You're not going to be missed. I can promise you that. You will not be missed.
Let's,
anyway.
We get anonymous subs, we get anonymous tips, right? All the time. But very much so, I think those who even restream me would admit, even if you don't like me, you can admit I don't sit here shilling crap products to my audience and try to get them to buy garbage because I respect them more than that.
You're right. You don't get them to try to buy garbage. You don't give them anything. You just demand money to stream. Like, people are there to watch a streamer play video games, not watch a streamer call them deadbeats, not watch a streamer demand money to start a game, not watch a streamer to hold badges over people's head for money, for financial gain. I don't care how you look at it, but it's scummy. And most people don't need to do that, which is why they don't get trolled on the internet.
I would much rather sit here and ask directly for contributions and crowdfunding than say, hey, buy a fucking shitty razor or buy overpriced cookies or, you know, buy this stupid jersey or do a food subscription plan.
I don't understand how that's any different than him shilling his own Darkside Phil shop, right? You're still shilling these same things that you're putting out there. Jerseys, coffee mugs, like you're shilling your own products. That's the only difference. But these people are getting paid to shill products. You're not. You're only getting paid when you shill these products and people actually buy them, which allegedly isn't that much. You probably don't sell them that much from my understanding. But these people are the losers because they get paid to do the same thing as you and they make money from it.
People understand that and would possibly come by and say, you know, even though necessarily I don't love Phil at all moments, there are times when I like his content, and certainly I like laughing at him with the community. So I want that to continue, so I'm going to support it. And then they would every once in a while become a member or do an anonymous tip or give some subs on Kit, right? Yeah, but here's the thing. Do I necessarily need to go ahead and do that? Think about it. Do I really need to ask out specifically to that audience, hey, please contribute? I think...
Why not? You do it to all your other audiences. What's the difference? It's just one more group of people you can bring up. It's not a big deal.
Those people who genuinely like the content know who they are, and they're going to come by eventually and maybe do that if they're ever going to. I don't think that my asking for that is actually going to help anything. I don't think that... Wow, I've had a mind-blowing...
He's got some real balls, though. Asking the people that actually hate him and watch his content and watch restreamers to contribute to him so that he can keep doing what he does and they can keep laughing at him. That's like a holy shit moment in your head where you got to know that you did something wrong in your life, that you're appealing to the group of people that hate you and you're asking them for money. He's had a rough couple days with hitting the goal. He's really wanting to hit this goal. He's really wanted to get that marathon running.
Idea. Phil has asked me, someone watching a restream, to contribute, and now because he did, I'm going to go contribute now. I don't think that's going to happen. Here,
you're right.
Ready? We'll give it a shot. This message is directly to everyone watching me on a restream. I know that you probably don't love me, but you probably get some value in watching my content, whether it's ripping it apart or making fun of me or whatever it is. Please understand that your support allows it to continue. Whether it's for good or bad reasons, whether you actually enjoy it for good reasons or you like making fun of me, the support still keeps it rolling. So please come by right now.
Dude, you're a lolcow. People laugh at you. When you're gone, they're going to laugh at the next lolcow. I mean, look at the example of Daniel Larson, right? The dude ended up, I think he's in jail right now. Like, nobody cares. Nobody's like, free Daniel Larson. Nobody's like, I wish Daniel Larson would come back so we can watch his content, right? I don't see videos being like, man, I miss Daniel Larson. Bring Daniel Larson. Like, people don't give a shit. I don't know where this guy thinks that he's so important. It must be the narcissism where he thinks he's so important that he's going to be thoroughly missed if people don't support his content and he has to start going to do something else. Half the reason people watch these restreamers is so they don't give you this stuff. They don't give you the views. They don't give you the ad revenue. They give it to the people who also don't like you and don't want to see you manipulating people on the internet anymore.
Now, and support my content with an anonymous tip, or how about this, some subs on Kick, because we have absolutely nothing on Kick this morning. There are a bunch of bums and schlubs over there, and they're not supporting the content. So maybe you can pick up the slack for that. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, where's my wallet?
Let's see.
Just kidding. Fuck you.
What happens? Will tons of fun start rolling in this very moment? Let's find out.
He's pathetic, man. He's so pathetic, and he's so desperate. He is grasping at straws at this point, man. He's got no ideas. He's got no content. It's all about the grift. It's all about the beg. It's apparent that he doesn't care what he's doing. He gets a low tip stream last night, and he quits the game. I'm not doing indies anymore because people don't want to see it. Maybe because people don't watch you for doing indies because you haven't done it in so long and you shit on those games. Why would someone go all of a sudden show up to you playing an indie game? Also, you play it when it's also not really trending anymore. But yeah, I don't know, Phil. Maybe because you're always late to the party because you can't read the room because you don't understand what's going on. I don't know. But I'm getting out of here, guys. I appreciate y'all. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Until the next one. Peace.